At the 11th hour, a judge paused the terms of the settlement that likely would have let the president's son avoid any jail time. The judge raising multiple concerns about Hunter Biden's plea deal. Of course, it sounded like there was no real deal at all. And her role in the proceedings, giving 30 days for them to reconvene. NewsNation's investigative reporter Rich McHugh was there for the hearing, live to explain the turn of events. Some people really shocked by this. We all expected the deal to just go through.
Absolutely. What an absolutely fascinating hearing, Adrienne. It was the complete opposite of what we all expected. And as one lawyer in the courtroom told me, that was the most stunning collapse of a plea deal he has ever seen.
When Hunter Biden walked into federal court at 9:15 a.m. Wednesday, the expectation was that this plea deal would be routine and that the president's son would plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax crimes and 1 felony gun charge and would likely avoid trial and likely avoid jail too. But this hearing took a drastic turn, and Judge Mary Ellen Noreika, a Trump appointee but historically a registered Democrat, did not accept the plea deal, questioning its constitutionality. The central question over immunity. Hunter Biden was expected to enter into a pretrial diversion program over the gun charge, but when the judge asked Hunter Biden, "You do not agree to plea unless you got some immunity on the other charges?" And Hunter Biden answered, "Correct." There was a moment of confusion. When the judge asked the U.S. attorney, "Is there still an investigation into Hunter Biden?" the attorney said yes, but refused to give further detail. The judge then zeroed in on the issue of immunity, and when she did, the hearing started to turn. Biden's team implied they had been promised broad immunity, which could also encompass protection from prosecution of other crimes outside of these. When the U.S. attorney said they would not grant that, Biden's team said, "Then there is no deal." The court stopped. It was a raw, unexpected period of about 20 minutes. Attorneys on both sides appeared to horse trade and try to strike a deal. When court resumed, Judge Noreika voiced concern that this deal, as written, was mixing immunity on the gun charge with a guilty plea on the 2 tax charges and that it might not be constitutional, and concern that she was being told to rubber stamp it, and concern about granting any broad immunity after she asked if the DOJ could potentially still charge him for his foreign business dealings, to which they answered yes. When the deal fell apart, the judge asked a stunned Hunter Biden, "How do you plead?" He said, "Not guilty." Soon after, he left the federal courthouse. Some onlookers shouted as his motorcade passed through Wilmington.
Now, this could be the setup for a potential criminal trial. The judge told the parties, "Go back, see if you can work it out, and come back to me in 30 days. But she made clear she was not ruling. She was not accepting this or rejecting this.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.